What kind of statement are you trying to make with this dish?
I knew I wanted to have a sandwich. It's kind of incorporating like dim sum. It's technical, it's nostalgic, but it's still playful. And I think this sandwich kind of embodies all those things here.
Sweet.
We're here in Williamsburg to check out a new restaurant from a local Brooklynite that showcases his unique Cantonese-American takes on traditional dishes he grew up eating.
It was very important that every dish was a banger. So these are our Cha Siu McRibs that we're preparing. We marinate them overnight in like a Cha Siu glaze, and then we steam them till the bones kind of just fall off. So it's like a 3-day process, but it's so worth it. It's our best seller.
What kind of statement are you trying to make with this dish?
I knew I wanted to have a sandwich. It's kind of incorporating like dim sum. It's technical, it's nostalgic, but it's still playful. And I think this sandwich kind of embodies all those things here.
Sweet.
It's bole, which is like a fermented black tea. Helps in the aid like digestion.
Anything to help me digest. What made you want to open up a restaurant?
I feel like it was always been a dream and goal of mine. I feel like it wasn't until the last maybe 3 or 4 years that I knew I wanted to pursue Cantonese food. I grew up going to Chinatown every weekend because that's where my mom immigrated to when she first came to America. And as a kid, I hated going there. I didn't want to spend my whole day in Chinatown. It was miserable in this tiny, cramped apartment. As I got older, when I started working in Chinatown again, I started to visit these old shops that I used to go to with my mom, the supermarkets, the vendors. That was like a turning point. I was like, damn, this is cool.
I've never seen a menu like this before. So what kind of food do you cook here?
We call it Cantonese-American. It kind of takes inspiration from things I ate growing up. Everything I do know about Cantonese food is from my mom. So I feel like that's why it was important for me to name the spot after her. The menu is definitely like super unique. At the end of the day, the flavors and ideas and the philosophy will always be Cantonese, but we're gonna take influence from just like being born and raised here.
Talk to me about the art and design in this place.
My girlfriend Phoebe helped me design it, but she's not a designer. We couldn't afford a designer. We just made like a bunch of mood boards and took inspiration from my childhood. Growing up, we had stainless railings outside. When my mom renovated, she got new stainless railings. It was always a stainless feature. So the bar is all stainless. We had like little stainless accents on the chairs, the stools, the wine buckets, and even just like the stainless teapots. I feel like on our mood boards, there were a lot of like cha tengs, which is what a Hong Kong diner is called. Those are heavily, heavily tiled spaces. Like the floor is tiled, the walls are tiled, and they're all tiled with like tiny, tiny like little mosaics. It was important for us to take inspiration from diners in Hong Kong where my mom grew up, tying all those together into like one important personal project.
Calvin was very adamant that there were no family photos in the bathroom, which is very fair. This is baby Calvin, his older sister Melissa, Bonnie, who the restaurant's named after. And so these are the women that raised Calvin. So it's really important to have them sitting up on the shelf.
Making sure he's doing everything right.
Yeah. So it was important that he have his family here, and then it was important that he have his childhood where he grew up running around Chinatown. So we're like, okay, what are we gonna do? And we were thinking we'd go down to Chinatown and shoot a bunch of photos ourselves, but then we found just really incredible archival photos. So it's important to have a mix of both family and Chinatown.
Oh, that's
space.
I love it. I noticed that you have some cookbooks up there. Are they like some inspiration for the restaurant?
So all the cookbooks were from Calvin's like collection. He always wanted to have like a cookbook library so people could take out cookbooks and get inspiration, but it's also on display for everybody to see.
That's great that these books are from his collection. It really adds a personal touch.
We didn't want it to feel too designed. Like all the neighbors around here, they've been here for a while. We just wanted it to feel like a restaurant that had been here with them.
What a spread we have. It smells so good. It looks so beautiful.
This is the wonton and brodo. In Cantonese cooking, a lot of times we'll use like dried citrus peels. I feel like the fresh note of it just hits different.
Oh, that's good. You can taste the citrus in that.
Yeah.
That's nice. That broth is so flavorful. Wow.
Tin dace is like something I ate growing up. So like my grandma would just pop open a can, throw it over a bowl of rice, and that would be like dinner sometimes. It's just like a deep fried dace fish that's preserved in like fermented black soybeans and oil.
Totally tastes like a chicken.
Yeah,
burger.
exactly.
Oh, that's very good also. What a great bite.
Yeah, so it's like very savory, very umami. So this is the Cha Siu McRib, which is definitely our #1 seller. Just classic bread and butter pickles, raw onions, and then that hot mustard.
This is amazing. I could easily eat that whole thing. That's not a problem.
There was a point in time where you were just steaming ribs in our apartment when you were recipe developing. It just smelled like steamed ribs for.
Felt moist.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Yeongyu Sangchoi Bao. Sangchoi Bao in Yeongyu just means like stuffed fish. It was important for me to have a whole fish on the menu, and it was something we made, like me, my mom, and my aunt would just spend like a weekend day together deboning and scraping out the flesh of a fish and mincing it up with like shrimp, water chestnuts, and other things, and just stuffing it back in and frying it up. Grab a leaf, grab some herbs, a fish, and then a dollop of the sauce.
The herbs add such a great element to it, and that sauce is perfect with the fish. This is very delicious.
Like, I've kind of been on the hunt for this dish, and I can't find another restaurant that does it.
People have reached out to you and said, like, I made this dish at home, or there used to be a woman in Chinatown who used to make this and I can't find her anymore. So this is a dish that I think a lot of people have resonated with if they've had it before.
Yeah.
Honestly, that dish surprised me. I didn't know what to expect.
At first, I started describing it as like a giant fish sausage. I don't think that was the best sell, but it is what it is. This is our fried milk sundae, which is, we basically take like malted fried milk, we set it into a custard, and then batter it and deep fry it. Top that with like Ovaltine hot fudge. Ovaltine is a super popular chocolate malted drink in Hong Kong, and one you get from like the American supermarket. I don't know if it's a different formula or what, but it's not the same. You gotta get the right one at the Chinese supermarket.
I love this. You give me my McRib sandwich and sundae, and I will be a happy boy.
Dude, that's what it's like. It's just like playful and fun stuff.
I had so much fun learning about you growing up in Brooklyn and learning to cook with your family, the design behind this place, and really every dish we had today was a banger. So, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for pulling up.